If you're the kind of moviegoer who appreciates understated charm, subtle intensity, and a dash of rugged good looks, chances are Luke Bracey has already crossed your screen and stayed in your mind. You might not immediately recall his name, but once you see his face, the memories rush in the charming lead in Holiday, the daring FBI agent in Point Break, the courageous soldier in Hacksaw Ridge. He's that guy who always seems familiar, yet somehow still feels like Hollywood's best-kept secret. Luke Bracey isn't your typical Hollywood celebrity. He doesn't chase headlines, he doesn't stir up drama, and he doesn't walk red carpets looking for attention. And yet somehow his quiet presence has become a force all on its own. There's a calm confidence in the way he carries himself, a man who knows who he is and who's not in a hurry to prove it to the world. Born and raised in Sydney, Australia, Luke never dreamed of becoming an actor. In fact, if you had asked his younger self where he saw his future, it would have involved rugby fields and surfboards, not cameras and red carpets. But fate, as it often does, had a different plan. A random audition, a leap of faith. And suddenly he found himself standing under the bright lights of a film set, completely out of his element, and yet exactly where he was meant to be. From that first taste of acting, Bracey didn't just see a career, he felt a calling. It wasn't about fame or fortune. It was about craft. He wanted to learn to grow to see how far he could go. And over the past decade, he's done just that. His journey through Hollywood has been steady, almost old school in its approach. No viral moments, no overnight fame, just one solid performance after another. What makes Luke Bracey stand out in a sea of actors isn't just his on-screen talent, it's the way he disappears into his roles. Whether he's playing a hopeless romantic or a hardened warrior, he brings a grounded authenticity that resonates. You don't see the actor, you see the character. And that, in today's age of instant fame and curated personas, is rare. His career so far has been a blend of genres and styles, action drama, romance, even war epics, and he's shown he can handle all of them. But beyond the scripts and camera angles, there's something else, a sincerity that makes you believe him. Luke Bracey doesn't just play the hero. In some way, he is the hero, quiet, loyal, dependable. The kind of actor who earns your respect, not by demanding it, but by deserving it. So who is Luke Bracey? He's the actor you didn't know you already knew. The surfer who swapped waves for scripts. The boy from Sydney who now shares screen time with Hollywood legends. And maybe most importantly, he's proof that sometimes the quietest voices make the loudest impact. This is the story of a man who stumbled into acting and stayed because he couldn't imagine doing anything else. Welcome to the world of Luke Bracey. Luke Bracey was born on April 26, 1989 in Sydney, Australia. Growing up, he lived a fairly typical Aussie childhood filled with days spent outdoors surfing at the beach, playing rugby with friends, and enjoying the laid-back lifestyle of coastal Australia. He wasn't the kid dreaming of acting or Hollywood. In fact, he barely gave it a thought. Instead, Luke's early passions were sports and the ocean. He loved the adrenaline rush from catching waves and the team spirit on the rugby field. Acting was simply not on his radar. School plays and drama classes weren't part of his world. It wasn't until he was 20, after finishing school and unsure about his next move, that fate nudged him toward acting. Almost by chance, he was invited to audition for an Australian TV show called Home and Away. Without any formal training or expectations, Luke took a chance and landed a role. This unexpected break opened a door to a world completely new for him. Suddenly, the boy who once saw his future on sports fields found himself discovering a passion for storytelling and performance. It was the start of a journey that would take him from the sunny beaches of Sydney to the bright lights of Hollywood. After landing his first role in the popular Australian soap opera, Home and Away, Luke Bracey quickly realized that acting was more than just a fun detour. It was something he genuinely wanted to pursue. Playing Trey Palmer, a troubled but intriguing character, gave him a taste of the demands and thrills of the profession. The long hours on set learning lines and stepping into someone else's shoes challenged him in ways sports never had. At first, Luke treated acting like a new adventure. But the more he immersed himself in it, the more he understood it was a craft that required patience, discipline, and constant growth. His early days on Home and Away were filled with learning moments, how to connect emotionally with a scene, how to work with the director, how to take feedback without losing confidence. It was a crash course in the reality behind the glamour. Yet Luke didn't want to stay in the comfort zone of Australian TV. He dreamed bigger. Hollywood called to him with its bright lights and vast opportunities. But moving to America wasn't easy. It meant leaving behind family friends and the familiarity of home. It meant starting over in a city full of thousands of actors all hungry for the same chance. Still, Luke was determined. With his natural charisma and solid work ethic, he began attending auditions in Los Angeles. Early on, he faced the classic struggles every newcomer faces: rejection, small roles, and the constant pressure to prove himself. But rather than getting discouraged, he saw each setback as a stepping stone. His breakthrough came with Monte Carlo 2011, a fun, lighthearted film where he starred alongside Selena Gomez. It wasn't a lead role, but it introduced him to a wider audience and gave him a taste of Hollywood filmmaking. From there, Luke took on increasingly diverse roles, from thrillers to romances, building a portfolio that showed he wasn't just a pretty face. What stands out about Luke's early acting career is his humility and persistence. He didn't rush fame or try to fit into a stereotype. Instead, he chose roles that challenged him and reflected parts of himself he wanted to explore. The boy who once dreamed of rugby fields was now navigating the complexities of Hollywood, one audition at a time. This period shaped Luke not just as an actor, but as a person. It taught him resilience, the importance of hard work, and that sometimes the biggest rewards come from simply showing up and doing your best even when no one is watching. Luke Bracey's big break came when he landed the lead role in Point Break 2010, a reboot of the iconic 1991 action film. Playing Johnny Utah, an undercover FBI agent who infiltrates a group of extreme sports criminals, Luke stepped into a much bigger spotlight. The role demanded not just acting chops, but physicality, skydiving, surfing, and high-speed chases were all part of the package. This film was a turning point. It proved Luke wasn't just a fresh face. He could carry a major Hollywood movie. Critics and fans started paying attention. More importantly, Luke's dedication to training and performing his own stunts won him respect in an industry that often values looks over grit. After Point Break, he was offered a string of diverse roles, romantic leads in films like The Best of Me 2014, alongside Michelle Monaghan, and intense dramas such as Hacksaw Ridge 2016, directed by Mel Gibson. Each part showed a different side of Luke, pushing him to expand his range and depth as an actor. What's striking about Luke's rise is how grounded he stayed. Despite the growing fame, he avoided the typical Hollywood distractions. Friends and family often describe him as humble, hardworking, and fiercely loyal, qualities that earned him lasting respect on and off screen. Luke's approach to fame is refreshing. He sees it as a platform to challenge himself and tell meaningful stories, not just chase celebrity status. And while he's clearly aware of his good looks and charm, he doesn't rely on them alone. Instead, he works hard to bring authenticity and emotion to every role. The industry took notice, and so did audiences worldwide. Luke Bracey became more than just that Aussie actor. He became a versatile talent, someone you could trust to carry a film with both heart and action. Looking back, it's clear that Luke's rise was no accident. It was the result of years of persistence, willingness to take risks, and a genuine love for the craft. From a carefree kid on the beaches of Sydney to a leading man on the global stage, Luke's journey continues to inspire. In recent years, Luke Bracey has continued to build an impressive and varied filmography. He's not content to just repeat the same type of roles. Instead, he chooses projects that challenge him and allow him to grow as an actor. Whether it's action-packed thrillers, heartfelt dramas, or romantic films, Luke approaches each role with passion and professionalism. One of his more recent notable works includes the psychological thriller Pimp 2018, where Luke plays a complex character navigating the dark underworld of London. The role was gritty and intense, showing a different, darker side of his acting abilities. This film proved that Luke wasn't afraid to push his boundaries and take on morally complex characters. Luke also starred in Danger Close 2019, an Australian war drama based on true events from the Vietnam War. This project connected deeply with Luke's roots and demonstrated his commitment to stories that matter, ones that honor real people and history. It was a physically demanding role, but Luke's athletic background helped him bring authenticity and strength to the screen. Looking ahead, Luke Bracey is clear about what he wants to keep evolving as an actor and to take on diverse and meaningful projects. He's interested in working with visionary directors and exploring stories that have emotional depth and cultural impact. Beyond acting, Luke is passionate about staying grounded and maintaining balance. He often talks about how important it is to stay connected with family and friends, and to keep a healthy lifestyle. Surfing and fitness remain a big part of his life. In interviews, Luke emphasizes that fame is not the goal. Growth and the love of storytelling are what keep him going. For him, every role is an opportunity to learn more about himself and the world around him. As Luke Bracey's career continues to rise, his fans eagerly watch, knowing that whatever comes next will be full of heart courage and authenticity. From a young Aussie kid to a respected actor on the world stage, Luke's journey is far from over. It's just getting started. Luke Bracey's journey from a laid-back Aussie to a respected Hollywood actor is truly inspiring. His story reminds us that success doesn't come overnight. It's built through patience, hard work, and a willingness to take risks. He started without much formal training, without big dreams of fame, but through persistence and passion, he carved out a place for himself in one of the toughest industries in the world. What makes Luke stand out isn't just his talent or good looks, but his grounded personality and dedication to his craft. He's an actor who respects the process and values meaningful storytelling over quick fame. This attitude has earned him not only roles, but respect from fans and peers alike. As he continues to evolve and take on new challenges, Luke Bracey shows us the power of staying true to yourself, no matter where life takes you. His career is a great example of how combining passion with discipline can lead to something much bigger than we might imagine. For anyone dreaming of a creative career, Luke's story is proof that with hard work, humility, and a bit of courage, it's possible to turn those dreams into reality. And that's what makes his journey not just interesting, but genuinely motivational. If Luke Bracey's journey has inspired, you don't stop here. Follow his latest projects, dive into his films, and keep an eye out for what's next, because this talented actor is only just getting started. Got a favorite Luke Bracey role or movie? Share your thoughts and join the conversation. And if you're chasing your own dreams, remember persistence and passion can take you anywhere.